Bring just a minute. Yeah. We will discuss the digital assistant feature at a very high level to understand its functionality, the fundamentals, and the out-of-the-box features provided by Oracle, which can be deployed by the technical team for the use. And the digital assistant development and implementation is purely technical. And in this call, we'll not go into technical aspects of it. We'll try to understand the fundamentals of it and how it works and how it can be utilized to deliver our work and how it can be used in a day-to-day basis. So let's talk about artificial intelligence. So we all know that this artificial intelligence is in every nook and corner of world today. We use it in every domain, and artificial intelligence is a system which is trained on the vast amount of data. The algorithms are written in a way which can learn to recognize the patterns. It uses the statistics, the machine learning module, and deep learning to make prediction with a very high accuracy. So the more this module learns on and analyzes the data or the history data, the prediction and is very accurate, and uh, as we keep using it, the module train itself on those data and keep on producing the accurate results out of it. So this is the basic fundamental which Oracle Digital Assistant also uses, and we'll see how it goes. So the another entity or entity which is natural language processing that is being used in machine learning and deep learning, which is in short we call it NLP. So NLP tries to understand the text and voice in the similar manner we humans do. So how it does that? So basically it analyzes a large amount of textual or vocal data to recognize the patterns, and from that pattern it will extract the meaningful insights, and it will mimic the way the human processes the language. It can classify the documents, identify the sentiments, generate summaries, and even engage in conversation with human through chatbots or virtual assistant. And like we already discussed, it utilizes the subdomains of AI, which is NLP, machine learning, and deep learning. So NLP enables machine to understand and interpret human language. Machine learning and deep learning enables machine to learn from the data and improve their responses over time. So here on the right-hand side of the screen, you see there is a text, and in that text you see there's a repetition of some word highlighted in different colors. So the blue color highlight, green color highlight, orange and yellow. So there are many repetition of that word. So NLP, what NLP does, it just learns what word is getting repeated, and in every sentence at what position it gets repeated. And in that way, with the statistics involved in the algorithm, it basically tries to understand what the user wants to do, or what is the message behind those, or what can be deduced from those analysis. So this is something Oracle Digital Assistant uses as the basic principle, and it has delivered its digital assistant tool with that. So let's move ahead and understand what is this conversational AI concept. So the digital assistant provided by Oracle, it is different than the chatbots which we were seeing for a long time. So we must have seen chatbots in our daily life, whether we go to any websites or bank websites, some food order delivery websites. So you can see there's a chatbot window that opens, and it just takes your request, and it just answers your questions based on what you have asked. So digital assistant is a little different than the chatbots. The chatbots are designed to perform some small task and actions, respond to some query, and it does the complex task. But digital assistant is designed to interact with different systems. It proactively initiates the conversation with the user to see if the user needs it, and then it works with different environment and different what you say ERP system to get the details out of it and help the user with what user want. So that's why it is also known as conversational AI. So the concept behind this conversational AI is there are four basic features here, like intents, utterances, entities, and skills. So the very basic concept is intent. So we will just discuss this in. So let's start with intent. What the intent is. Oh, 1 minute. I'm getting some technical issues. Okay, I'm sorry for that. Intents. The purpose of a user input in the conversation. That is basically intent here. So what does intent do? So intent serves as the entry point for that conversation, and it basically identifying the intent is the first step in the conversational AI. So let's take a small example here. We see there is a sentence written here. Find a slot for a Zoom meeting with Steve Bennett on Friday at 10 a.m. So this is the sentence the user wrote to the digital assistant, and how that digital assistant identifies it. So it just identifies it as find a slot for something with somebody at some time. And that is what it is giving a meaning. So it is just showing that I'm trying to do the meeting with some person at some time. So basically the message comes out from this sentence is the user wants to set up a meeting. So that is the meaning coming out of it. Now there can be a different way a user can write that sentence to give the same message. The second concept is utterances. What are utterances? The sample message that represents how users would typically address an intent. So identifying and curating high quality utterances is crucial for training machine learning models to accurately recognize and understand the user intent. So again, let's talk about intent and how it is related to the utterances. So here in the different blocks, we see we have written some sentences which has similar meanings. So let's take two or three of them. So first one is send a calendar invite for Wednesday 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. for a meeting. Second utterance is for January 12, 2022 at 10 a.m. for 2 hours, create an invite for Zoom meeting. So in both these sentences, we see there's a common meaning that someone is trying to set up a meeting. So what intent will come out of it is set up a meeting. So that is the message coming out of both these two instances. And if we see other four also, it's giving us the same message. So all these six boxes, the sentence written here are utterances, and all these six utterances are giving or pointing us towards the same intent. So basically, utterances uh, are the sentences or things which gives us a common intention of the user. So that these utterances drives the AI or digital assistant towards the intent. And when these AI understand what the intent of the user is, then the digital assistant performs its next steps based on the intent, because now it understands the intent. So based on that intent, further action is processed. Then third concept is entities. So what is an entity? So entity is something which add context to the intents. It helps to describe the intent more fully and enable the bot to complete a user request. And we can use entities to extract information. Would you guys like to go live with Uncle Kyle? We can use the entities to extract information from user messages. So the entities are delivered. Some entities are delivered from Oracle, and there can be some user defined entities which can be made at a time of development. So let's understand from this sentence what the entity is. So again, the same sentence, find a slot for a Zoom meeting with Steve Bennett on Friday at 10 a.m. So we see here there are 4 entities, and these all 4 are like system delivered entities. So the delivered AI or delivered digital assistant understand these entities, so which is meeting type, person, date, and time. So when the user writes this sentence, the NLP processes this sentence and understand this sentence intent, as well as understand what are the entities used in it. And these entities the system can keep it in cache. Now system understand that there's a meeting type Zoom, there's a person involved is Steve Bennett, date involved is Friday, some date, and the time involved is 10 a.m. So all these 4 entities come into you can say cache space until the processing or conversational AI is working with the user. Now the 4th pillar of it is skills. So what is skill? Skill is an intelligent and reusable conversation module in Oracle Digital Assistant. It can be an individual chatbot that is exposed through the digital assistant. It can also be used as a standalone application to answer some questions based on the user input. It uses NLP for the intent resolution and entity extraction. So we'll talk more about skill here. So skill is basically a group of intent utterances. So whatever we learned in previous 3 part, utterance, intent, and entities. Skill is a combination of all those 3, and it acts as an application to perform some activities. And it has all these steps mentioned on how the system will behave based on the user's request. The screenshot which you see here, it is the screenshot for the environment, Oracle Digital Assistant environment. So we have HCM Cloud environment. So similarly, we have an OCI environment, and in the same manner, Oracle provides us a different URL for accessing and developing the Oracle Digital Assistant. So this is the page which you will see there. And then in the development section, there's something you can see skills, digital assistant, channel, store, events. These things are present. So right now we have highlighted the skill part, and you can see on the right hand side, I just made a demo skill which is called food skill that is shown there, and you have the ability or flexibility to create a new skill there based on the requirement. So let's move ahead, and the skills are the things which basically digital assistant understands from the user's input, and it just calls that particular skill which can take and resolve the answer for that request, and that skill is called based on some processing done by the NLP and all deep learnings to decide which skill needs to be called to address that question. So this is the architecture of how the things work behind this. So here you can see on the left-hand side, we have web, mobile, messenger, voice. So all these are like web applications which can be used to interact with the digital assistant. The second part you see in between the Oracle Digital Assistant and web application is channels. So there are different type of channels which can be used, and the purpose of the channel is to basically connect Oracle Digital Assistant with the web applications. It acts as a hub to basically exchange the information there. So third thing is the digital assistant. We already discussed the digital assistant. In the digital assistant, we have skills, intents, machine learning, deep learning involved in it. And then we have REST services and a SaaS application. So SaaS application is nothing but the ERP, cloud ERP, which we are using. If something needs to be performed in the cloud ERP, some data entry needs to happen in the cloud ERP, the SaaS request, the request will go to the SaaS application and it will process the request. And then we have REST services. So if the user is asking for some information from the a digital assistant, then web services goes to the ERP REST service through REST services, and the response comes back through that REST service, and the digital assistant is able to show us those response on the chat window. So this is how it works. And now you see there's a block which is intelligent routing between the channel and the digital assistant setup. So this intelligent routing is where it's decided which skill needs to be called. So in this box itself, the intents are calculated based on the utterances, and then system checks what is the most accurate skill that will be required to resolve the query, and then the system calls that particular skill, and all the processes or steps mentioned in that skill that takes place sequentially. And all these setups are present in the Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. So if you see at the bottom of this window, these are all Oracle infrastructure present there, and that is the place where uh, all these structure basically lies there, apart from the web channel, apart from the web application, which is the end users. Moving ahead. Okay, now that we understand what the digital assistant is, what are the basics involved in it, and how does it work. So now we will try to understand how this can be used in our Oracle HCM instance and how we can configure it. So configuring digital assistant, there are two steps which we need to follow. We need to go to the manage administer profile value setup, and there's already a profile option created known as FA_enable. So we need to go there, open it, and in the profile values at the down, you see there's a profile value right now indicated as Y. By default, it is no there, and you need to change it to yes and just put Y and save it. So this basically enables our digital assistant. Uh, then once you have enabled it, then the HCM Cloud environment will be able to interact with the Oracle Digital Assistant environment through the web channel. So once we have done this, then we will go to the Oracle Digital Assistant environment, and there we will need to create a web channel. And now we all understand what is a web channel and why we need to create it. So channel is basically hub where the information exchange happens between the web application and Oracle Digital Assistant. So what we are doing here is, again, you can see the same screen in the development. Last page, we talked about the skill navigation. Now, if it's clicked on the channel, so we have access here to create a new channel or to update an existing channel with some key values. So what I have done here is I have created a new channel called FA Web Channel. So if you see here, it just tells us about what that channel is, where that channel is routing to. So this route to value says FA Digital Assistant. So now this FA Digital Assistant is a digital assistant delivered by Oracle. And what I am trying to do is I'm asking this channel to connect to this digital assistant. So whatever request comes to this channel, it will route that request to the digital assistant, which is named here. And now rest of the fields we are populating there to basically prepare this channel values. So once you provide these information and channel type is Oracle Web, you can see there's a secret key will be generated here, and the channel ID will be generated here. So at the bottom, you can see the channel ID generated. So this channel ID again needs to be fed back to Oracle HCM instance so that the communication happens with this channel ID as a key. So let's see how it happens. So again, Going back to the Oracle HCM environment, and on the manage administrator profile values, we need to search for the profile option, or if it is not there, if someone has not already created, then we need to create it. And that is like, we can name it FA Digital Assistant App ID, and then in that profile values, we need to create profile level at site, and then you can see the profile value here. This profile value is nothing but the channel ID which was created when we created a channel for this digital assistant. So this channel ID has been kept here, and it's saved. So these are the two steps which you need to enable your digital assistant, environment to communicate with HCM cloud environment. Now let's talk about the security role. So this security role provided to access this digital assistant is one privilege that is delivered, and we can use that privilege to basically create any custom role, and from that privilege we can assign that privilege to that custom role and create that custom role ready to be assigned to the users whom we want, or we allow the use of digital assistant. So the security is simple there. There's only one privilege with digital assistant, and the privilege code is HRC access digital assistant underscore priv. So this is the only privilege which we need to assign to the custom role, and then that custom role is ready to be assigned to any user. So moving ahead. Okay, so I'll just take a pause here, and we'll just see, we'll just discuss what all we discussed till this point. So we discussed about artificial intelligence and what are the subsets of that artificial intelligence which is used to create the fundamentals of digital assistant, Oracle digital assistant. What is a conversational AI, and what were the four main blocks of the conversational AI, and what they meant, and we understood all of them through an example. We discussed about configuring the web channel, and we saw how it works. Now we will talk about what Oracle has provided as an out-of-the-box functionality. So Oracle has provided some of the skills, so delivered skills, which you see here: HCM skills, sales skills, and then financial skills. So since we are dealing with the Oracle HCM Cloud here, so I'll talk about the HCM skills, but the Oracle also provide the Salesforce sales side, sales skills, and then finance solution. So there are some finance skills also that is provided by Oracle there. So we will focus on the HCM skills, and we'll see what are the out-of-the-box functionality that Oracle has provided. So what I have done, I have deployed this Oracle Digital Assistant in the Acuity's demo instance, and I have tried to put some data in so that our chatbot provide that responses properly. And I have taken some screenshot in a sequential manner to show it to you how it basically works. But I would definitely let you know that we are there if you need any help in giving us the demo to you. We are ready. We are happy to help there, and you can connect with our team, our sales team, for that, and we can do a demo if you need further. So I will just start giving a demo on what is the out-of-the-box functionality provided by Oracle. So moving ahead, the HCM skills provided by Oracle. So there are three parts to it, like we saw in the last slide: HCM skill, then approval skill, and then recruiting. So in HCM skills, it includes multiple intents, which is designed to address employment-related questions or help us initiate a manager self-service transaction. So here you see on the left-hand side of the table, what are the intents that we can right now ask from the digital assistant, which is delivered. So we can see absence balance, past and future schedule absence balances, related questions we can ask to the digital assistant. We can provide the feedback through the digital assistant. We can inquire about the benefit coverage, benefit plans for ourselves, and benefit coverage for our direct reports. We can see the directory, payslip information, salary information. Salary information for your direct report is tax withholdings, year-end documents, onboarding, manager self-service, and team performance evaluation and goals. So there are a lot of things which is delivered from Oracle and that can be readily used once the things are deployed by your technical team in your environment. So let's take a look on how some of the important. So I have taken some of the important activities which our cloud consultants or cloud user does on a day-to-day basis. So absence balance, past and future schedule balances. So this is how a digital assistant chat window looks like. So when you click on chat, it is chat window opens, and if you write something, well, good. Otherwise, if the chat, the digital assistant waits for some second and it will automatically greet you if you don't write anything. So I just wrote hi, and then it is asking me. I have, by the way, I'm logged into the system with the user as Curtis Feedy. So it is responding to me saying, hey, hello, Curtis, how can I help you today? And it gave me some of the options to choose from. And there are two things. Either I can click on one of these options and the flow will take us forward. And if not, then we can just write whatever next question we want to ask the chatbot. So I just clicked on view absences. So then the next thing comes up is here is your absence balance as of 25th September 2023. And you see it just brought all the sick, vacation, and personal leave hours for me, I mean, for Curtis. And then it is giving me some other options to choose from, which is schedule a time off, or view a balance as of another date, or future absences, or whatever options are there. We can deal with it. So I just clicked on schedule time off. And as soon as I click the schedule time off, what the system did is it's a deep link. So basically, it takes the request from here. And if you remember the architecture diagram, that request goes as a REST service to the Oracle HCM Cloud environment, and then brings the data, and it just calls that deep link there and opens a different window with the correct page where we need to add the absences. So this is where I added the absence, and then again came back to the chat window, and then I clicked on view balance as of another date, and it is asking me for the date I'm looking for. Then I said, okay, I'm done. I don't need anything from you. So the chatbot responds as I'm here. If you need another question, get answered. So this is how the flow happens. And now that I have talked about the flow, so we saw that when I wrote hi, it gave me a list of action items that can be done, or list of questions that can be asked in a further conversation. So how does it come to that? So there is something called dialog flow in this digital assistant. So after the skill is identified, and we choose something and skill is identified, and then inside the skill that dialog flow is defined, and the dialog flow is the driver how the conversation will happen. And this is the result of a dialog flow only, where you see view, payslip, order, laptop, search, and FAQ. So these are defined in the dialog flow. And again, that dialog flow is totally a technical uh, thing to perform and code there. So we'll not go into the technical details of it, but just for the sake of knowing, for every skills identified or every intents identified, there can be a different set of flow which will invoke based on different questions asked there. Moving ahead, next skill is like anytime feedback. So as a manager or as a feedback provider, we need to provide the feedback for some uh, employee or our direct reports. So let's see how it works. Open the chat window. I just wrote provide feedback. And then the digital assistant is asking me share the full name of the person to get started. So I say John Roberts, and then now it's asking me to enter the feedback for John. So I just wrote John is diligent and he is performing at its next level. Then the next window it throws is this next sentence it throws who can see this feedback, managers only or only me. So I'll just quickly talk about this response from digital assistant. So what happens is whenever a user requests something from the digital assistant, so in the back side, what happens is it quickly searches for all this. It just derives the intents from it and try to search for the correct skill where the intent match is maximum. So let's say it gives a rating to different based on intent. It just goes and check the intent on each of the skill and provide a rating to it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it chooses the skill which has the best rating or best match there and brings that intent there. So let's suppose there are two skills which is matching for that intent, and for both the skills, the rating is provided 7 and 7. So the system cannot understand that which skill to call, and that's where you see this window. It brings both the skill there. Then it will ask from you, okay, tell me what you want. If it is not able to resolve that, it will give you a prompt you the option there. So that's where we are getting to option here. So now I'll just select manager only. So the assistant is asking me to confirm that this is my feedback. Do I need to add it or not? So when I click on this add it, it says I have added your feedback for John Roberts. And at the same time, it also gives me a deep link to see my feedback provided. So here again, what I was saying, going back to the architecture diagram, you saw there was a SaaS window also there. There was a REST services, and there was a SaaS there in which the data was flowing. So this is something, the example of SaaS, where I have provided one-liner feedback there, and that feedback needs to go and reside in the Oracle HCM cloud system. Basically, it's a data entry there. So that SaaS, the lower window of SaaS was called there. The application, the functionality happened at that portion of the architecture diagram. So when we clicked on view your feedback, you can see it opens the page for John Roberts, and you can see the feedback provided on 25th, 9/23. John is very diligent and performing at its next level. So this is how it basically Oracle Digital Assistant saves your time in going to the different navigation, and you can just write it here and it will do the work for you. Next is benefit coverage. So let's see, I just wrote my benefits. So it's through through the detail of whatever benefits I have enrolled in. And these are the details. And then I'm asking who is covered. So it responds to me with all my dependents and beneficiaries and what is the coverage there. Then I ask enroll for benefit plan. So it tells me or whatever, and also when you deal with this digital assistant, the responses which we get, it also does all the business validations. It's designed in a way which handles all the business level validation also. So if we basically implement or design a custom digital assistant or develop a custom digital assistant, we need to take care of all those business validation and consider it while coding it, so that those fails doesn't happen. So here, since I'm not able, the enrollment window is not open, it is not allowing me for any enrollment in the benefit plan. So the next question I'm asking is John's benefit enrollment. So it says means you can only update your benefit information. It is not allowing me. So here it also takes care of the security which you have. You cannot access others' enrollment. Then I ask, at least show me John's benefit plan. Then it says, no, you can't access another worker benefit information. So this basically follows all the business rules and the rules provided to you. If you're not able to see some data, you will not be able to see that data. The third is like directory information. So let's see how it goes. I asked the bot to show the directory, and it is asking me the full name of the person whose information I want to see. So I'm logged in as Curtis Feety here. So I said Curtis Feety, and it responds with this. Who is Curtis Feety? What's his position, his email ID, work phone, what's the time there? And then it also gives me a deep link of the directory to Curtis Feety profile. So when I click on directory, it takes me to the directory page. And now you can see the details of Curtis Feety, who he is, and all the information on that particular page. And then furthermore, when you click uh, on the hierarchy icon beside the Curtis Feety name, you can see the organization chart there. And from here again, you can go to any of his direct reports if you have you have the access or you have the role to do some activity on these resources, you can do it. For example, promoting, increasing the salary. Let's say HR is going there, so HR will have those access, so they can initiate those actions from there. Next is payslip and salary. So this information, let's see how it works. So if you ask my salary, so let's talk about this question which I'm posing here. Like my salary, it's one utterance, and then I can also write show me my salary. That is the second utterance. What is my salary? That is the third utterance. But all these utterances are pointing towards salary, which is the intent. So that's how it brings the salary here. So I got the salary, and it is also prompting me to view all the payslips. So then I wrote John's salary. So since John is not my direct report, system will not allow me to see John's salary. So now the chatbot is smart, and it is asking me that he is not my direct report. I can choose one of the direct report, and it provided me all my direct report in the window. So I clicked on Hallie Justice, and then it tells me what is Hallie Justice's current salary. Then I'm asking for Hallie Justice payslip. Now payslip is something I'm not allowed to see. So that's why it is not allowing me to see there. And it just throw the information that I'm not allowed to see it. Then if I write my payslips, it just gives me the link to see all my payslips there, and we can click on the link and it will take us to the payslip page, and we can generate our payslip there. So you see when I clicked on the view your payslip, it just brought me there, and we can see the payslip. So these all activities which I'm showing you is like most of the common activities which we do in our day-to-day basis. Our HR or managers does those things very often. Next one is manager self-service. So in the manager self-service, I just ask this digital assistant to promote Hallie Justice. So you see the response. OK, go here, promote an employee, or you can use the transfer page if you want to transfer the employee with the promotion, or if you need to change any other details like business unit, location, or department. So I clicked on promote, and it took me to the promotion page. And then here I can decide what information I want to manage. And then we can continue from here to basically complete the process, promotion process. So I don't need to specifically go to the navigation and click to the navigation, search for this person, and then come to this place. So this digital assistant saved us 3 steps, and I can go to this page. And when we click on the transfer, it just opens the transfer page, and then we can select what information we need to update and complete the transfer steps. And after that, coming back to the chat window, I asked the system to increase the salary. I wrote increase salary. So from this utterance, the intent it is taking is I want to increase my salary, and that's why it's giving me the error of saying that you cannot update your compensation. But now you see the next question, the next request which I say is increase Hallie Justice salary. So from this, it is getting the intent that, OK, increase salary is there, but it is not for myself, it is for Hallie Justice. Now, you can relate here. There are entities involved. increase Hallie Justice salary. So Hallie Justice is a person name. So it just identified that this is a person based on the person type entity, person entity. So now since Hallie Justice is my direct report, so it is allowing me to do this activity. And it gives us a deep link to go to the respective page and do the salary increment process. So when I clicked on that, it just takes you to the salary change page, and then you can fill the details and then continue with the process of salary increase. And the last one is team performance evaluation and goal. So I just started asking employee with no goals. So when I asked the system that show me the employee with no goals, so it asked me for which review period. So when the intent was resolved, the skills their rating were similar, and that's why it provided which one you want to see. So I selected a 2023 review period, and then it responds me, okay, I have 5 direct reports, and for all those 5 direct reports, uh, there were no goals assigned to them. So now it is also giving me a deep link to view and add goals for your team. I clicked on that, and it is showing me all my direct reports there. I selected Hallie Justice from there. And then review period is there, goal plan I can select from there. And further, I updated the details of the goal and saved it. So here you can see, uh, if we go 2 steps back, right now, here you see there is no goal. It says there's nothing here so far. There's no goal attached to it. But then we created a goal and saved it. And again, on the same page, you see it says there's one goal, test goal assigned. So that's how all these provided out of the box functionality can be used in our day-to-day work. And also, if your requirement is different than the delivered one, and if you want some custom utterances to be there or some custom flow, you can always design and develop your own digital assistant. You can clone this digital assistant and add your modifications to it. The another type of skills, like we discussed SCM skills. Now this is approval skills. So in the approval skill, Oracle provides 2 type of interactions or intent, which is approval actions and task submission status. So it just tells us that if there is something for me to approve, and whatever I have transacted, whether those transaction has been approved or not. So these information can be handled to the delivered process by Oracle. So let's see how it works. So I just asked system approval task for me. So since there was nothing which was in my approval list, it is saying we have nothing to approve. So then I'm asking for my task submission status. So whatever task I have submitted, so it says you have 82 submission pending approval. And again, it will prompt us to select what I want to do further, which task I want to see further. So that I can always type it there and go and see what's the status of that. So this is straightforward. Like you can check two things here, either check the approval task for yourself, or you can see whether your tasks have been approved or not. And based on the type of question which you ask, you will get the response. The third skills, which is delivered by Oracle, is recruiting skills. So in this recruiting skills, there are 2 things: the candidate experience and the hiring skill. The candidate experience skill integrates with Oracle recruiting and enables candidate to search for jobs, check their application status, withdraw. The skill integrates with Oracle Recruiting Cloud and enables recruiter and hiring team to check their question status, candidate status, and review any pending offers. So if you see in the table, first 4 are the candidate experience, which is search for job, check application status, withdraw job application, and delete candidate profile. And the next 4 are the recruiting skill, hiring skills, which is performed by the hiring manager or the HR or the recruiting team members. So show the requisition, view job application, check candidate status, check offer status. all these intents can be, all these requests can be served through the Deliver Digital Assistant. So let's see some of the examples. So recruiting skills, we'll see, we'll search for requisition, job application, candidate application details. So my request was so available jobs, and the system responded that you have 15 requisitions because I'm logged in as Curtis Fitty. So Curtis, whatever job available jobs Curtis Fitty is required to see based on his role, all those requisitions are visible here. So there were 15, so I just selected the third one. So in the third one, it is asking me view requisition and view job application. So when I click on view requisition, it just gives me that requisition page. So you can see here, benefit specialist 1025. I clicked on view requisition. It is taking me to the HCM Cloud environment, and it opens that job requisition and it shows me the detail. So we can see all the details of that requisition, what is there, and we can do some changes if required, if it's created by me, or if I'm the team member of that and I'm allowed to do the changes, we can perform those changes there if needed. Similarly, when I clicked on the applications after view requisition, so it showed me for this particular benefit specialist 1025 job, there are two applications. So one is Logan Gilbert and second is Evan White. So I asked the system to show me the application for Logan Gilbert. So then it takes us to the HCM Cloud and open this job, and it shows the job application from Logan Gilbert. You can see here. So all the key highlights, personal information, address, and it's a big page here. You can see all the details of this particular job application. Another recruiting skill is candidate status. So let's check about any candidate status. So please, I asked candidate status. So the system is asking for the candidate name. So the candidate name I provided Logan Gilbert. So it shows there are two applications for Logan Gilbert. So Logan has applied for benefits specialist, and also he has applied for some other accounting position. So I clicked on one of them, and then it shows I clicked on benefit specialist. So it just shows us the candidate status there. So what's the status, and all details we can show there on that page. And when I clicked on the accounting manager page, it just shows what Logan Gilbert has applied for and what those details are, job details are, and what is the status of that job or candidate, whether candidate is still there, and whether they have been, I mean, the status is canceled or whatever information is there, we can access it there. Third one is let's check about the offer status. So ask the assistant about the offer. Please enter the candidate name. So I entered Logan Gilbert. So there it seems there's no offer for Logan. So I entered Marshall Smith. So for this Marshall Smith, it seems there's one offer there, and it shows senior HR analyst. We can click on view offer, and when you view the offer, you can see all the offer related details for Marshall Smith. So this is how we can utilize the out-of-the-box functionality provided by Oracle. And like I said, this was the demo environment for Acuity, where I had deployed the things and configured the things for this session. But our team will be more than happy to assist you with the demo if you want to see it in detail and if it solves your problem. This is it. And if you want to know more about it, the digital assistant reference is mentioned here. You can go and check this. You have a lot of reference there, and you'll be able to know what are the different types of utterances that you can use as far as the delivered functionalities of Oracle are present. So with that, I hand it over to Brianna, and thank you so much for listening me patiently.
Thanks so much, Vivek, for the presentation today. Does anybody have any questions while we're on the call today? things come to mind later, please don't hesitate to reach out via email. Later today, I will forward over the recording to everybody that join or wanted to join the meeting, so you guys can rewatch if needed. But please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions about digital assistant. But thank you so much, Vivek, for your time today. And I think we're good to go if there's no questions. Oh, sorry. Yes, we also have future sessions coming, which again, I'll put the link in that to your email if you have not yet registered for those sessions as well. So thanks again, Vivek. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.